Okay, so are you ready for this? Like, really ready? Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of Beyonce and Jay-Z.
A world of music and money and power couples.
Exactly. And there's always something fascinating happening with them.
There's this whole new lawsuit stemming from some allegations against Diddy.
Yeah, it's wild, right? And to really understand it, we gotta like rewind and look at their whole history.
It's a long history, too.
Oh, yeah, over 2 decades in the spotlight.
Think about all that's happened in that time.
I know, from music to marriage to kids to like all this drama, it's insane.
So where do we even begin with this deep dive?
Well, I think the best place to start is with this Diddy situation because that's what kicked off this whole thing.
Right. He's facing some serious charges, sex trafficking, racketeering.
And now this new civil lawsuit alleges Jay-Z was involved too.
Yeah, and an anonymous victim is claiming that both Diddy and Jay-Z assaulted her at a VMA's after party back in 2000.
And she was only 13 at the time.
It's a heavy accusation.
For sure. And Jay-Z has denied it all, calling it a blackmail attempt on social media and vowing to fight it.
He even talked about how this is impacting his family, particularly his kids.
It's got to be tough,
Yeah.
to have this kind of stuff out there in the public eye.
Yeah, especially when you've built a career on carefully controlling your image.
Which they both have, both Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Exactly. They've worked hard to cultivate this aura of power and perfection.
And now this lawsuit is like threatening to shatter that image.
So to really grasp the weight of this,
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to rewind and look at the bigger picture of their relationship.
Yeah, because this latest controversy, it's just one chapter in a long and complicated story.
More than 2 decades in the making.
So let's go back to the beginning 2000 MTV's Spring Break Festival.
The moment they first met,
Beyonce was 18 and Jay-Z was 30.
that age gap alone sparked a lot of controversy.
Definitely. It raised eyebrows even back then.
And it's interesting how societal views on age gaps have kind of shifted over time.
Right. What was considered scandalous back then might not even be a blip on the radar now.
But in the context of the music industry and the power dynamics at play, it definitely raised questions.
And Jay-Z actually raps about their early days in his song 713.
Oh, yeah. What does he say?
He talks about waiting 2 years before officially dating and that Beyonce was actually in another relationship at the time.
Oh, wow. So there was this whole will they, won't they thing going on.
Totally. And it just added to the intrigue.
Then there was that Vanity Fair cover shoot in 2001.
Yeah. They weren't even officially a couple yet, but you could just feel the chemistry.
It was like they were playing with fire, fueling the public's curiosity.
And then boom. Crazy in Love drops in 2003.
That song was a game changer.
It was everywhere, and it instantly cemented their image as this unstoppable power couple.
The song itself is interesting, too. You
Yeah.
know, it's not your typical lovey-dovey ballad.
It's got this raw energy and passion,
Almost a sense of danger mixed in.
which kind of mirrored their real-life dynamic in a way.
Totally. They had this undeniable chemistry, but there was also this air of mystery around them.
And they kept everyone guessing for a while.
Until finally, in 2004, they make their official debut as a couple at the VMAs.
That red carpet moment was iconic.
It was like the world finally got confirmation.
And the Beyonce and Jay-Z saga officially began.
But even with this very public declaration, they still maintained a lot of secrecy around their personal lives.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially when it came to their 2008 wedding.
It was like a top secret mission.
No cameras, no leaks, nothing.
They were determined to control their narrative.
And it worked. Everyone was obsessed with trying to find out the details.
It just added to their mystique.
And the number 4 played a huge role in their relationship.
Really? Tell me more about that.
Their birthdays, their wedding date, even matching tattoos.
It's like their lucky number.
Exactly. And Beyonce has talked about how she never felt pressured to marry young.
She wanted to establish herself, first build her own empire.
Which is so impressive. She had this incredible level of self-awareness and maturity, even at a young age.
It's not always easy to find that balance, especially when you're thrust into the spotlight so young.
And that desire for control and privacy became even more apparent with the birth of Blue Ivy in 2012.
No magazine spreads, no selling the first photo.
She kept everything super tight-lipped.
It was like they were drawing a line in the sand, saying, this is our family, and we decide when and how the world gets to see them.
And then came 2014 and that infamous Met Gala elevator incident.
Oh man, that footage went viral instantly.
Solange attacking Jay-Z with Beyonce right there.
And everyone was left wondering, What the heck happened?
$1 billion on an elevator, indeed.
That's when the cheating rumors really took hold.
It was like this crack in their seemingly perfect image.
And the world was obsessed with trying to figure out what was going on behind closed doors.
We may never know the truth about what happened in that elevator.
But it definitely shifted the narrative.
It made people question if everything was as perfect as it seemed.
And then came Lemonade in 2016.
Beyoncé's visual album that seemingly confirmed the infidelity rumors.
It was raw, emotional, powerful.
And it sparked a global conversation about love, betrayal, and forgiveness.
It was also a major turning point in their relationship.
In a way, Beyoncé took control of the narrative.
She turned her pain into art, and in doing so, she reclaimed her power.
It was a defining moment for both of them.
During this period, Beyoncé also made several solo public appearances.
Which fueled rumors that they were separating.
Then, in the midst of all this drama, they welcomed twins, Rumi and Sir, in 2017.
It was a whirlwind.
It almost like they were living two parallel lives, one playing out in the tabloids and the other this deeply personal world that they fiercely protected.
It was a constant push and pull between public image and private reality.
And then later that same year, Jay-Z finally addressed the infidelity in an interview with the New York Times.
It was a rare moment of vulnerability from someone who's always been so private and guarded.
He admitted his mistakes, talked about therapy working to rebuild trust.
It felt like a turning point.
They weren't just projecting an image anymore. They were grappling with real-life issues.
It made their relationship seem more human, more relatable.
And it seemed like they were trying to move forward together.
They even released a joint album, Everything Is Love, in 2018, seemingly confirming their reconciliation.
But even then, there were still questions lingering.
Was it truly genuine, or just a carefully crafted facade?
It's impossible to know for sure.
But one thing's clear. They were choosing to face this challenge as a united front.
And now this Diddy lawsuit throws a whole new wrench into things.
These fresh allegations threaten to disrupt that carefully constructed image once again.
And it's particularly challenging, given the sensitive nature of the accusations and the fact that their children are now old enough to understand what's being said about their parents.
It's a whole new level of scrutiny and pressure.
And it makes you wonder how they'll navigate this latest storm.
Will they retreat further into privacy?
Or will they address these allegations head on?
Only time will tell, but one thing's for certain.
This story is far from over.
The world will be watching to see what their next move will be.
And we'll be here to break it all down for you.
Analyzing the implications, the cultural impact, and the lessons we can learn from this complex and ever-evolving saga.
Stay tuned. I mean, it makes you think, right? Like, how much do we as fans contribute to this whole pressure cooker environment?
I know what you mean. It's so easy to get caught up in the spectacle.
And forget that these are real people with real lives.
Real problems, too, not just champagne problems.
Exactly. And we crave that fairy tale, the perfect power couple narrative.
But the truth is, their lives are messy.
Complicated.
Just like everyone else's.
And this Diddy lawsuit, it just adds another layer of complexity to it all.
It really does. And it's important to remember that these are just allegations at this point.
Right. Jay-Z's has denied any involvement.
And we need to let the legal process play out.
Avoid jumping to conclusions.
But it does raise some interesting questions, about public image versus private lives.
Especially for someone like Jay-Z, who's built a career on maintaining control of his narrative.
He's built an empire.
Not just through his music, but through his business ventures, his branding.
He's a master strategist.
And Beyoncé, too. Don't forget about her.
Oh, of course. She's incredibly savvy as well.
They've both transcended the music industry.
They're global icons.
With influence that extends way beyond music.
They're like a modern-day royal family.
But with even more scrutiny and pressure.
It's insane. Every move they make, every word they utter, it's analyzed and dissected.
It makes you wonder, how much do we really know about the people we idolize?
Right. Are we just seeing what they want us to see?
And what does it say about us that we're so invested in their lives?
Are we looking for role models? Or are we just seeking entertainment from their drama?
It's probably a bit of both, if we're being honest.
We want to believe in the fairy tale.
But we're also drawn to the messiness.
The human flaws.
And then the Carters they've given us both over the years.
The glamorous highs.
And the devastating lows.
It's what makes their story so captivating.
Even if it's also a bit unsettling at times.
So this whole deep dive, it really raises some important questions about the price of fame.
The illusion of perfection.
And the role we play as consumers of celebrity culture.
It's a conversation that goes way beyond this particular case.
Absolutely. It makes us think about the human cost of fame.
the pressures these individuals face,
And the responsibility we have as consumers to be critical of what we see and read.
to not just blindly accept everything we're fed by the media,
To think for ourselves.
and to remember that even the most powerful and seemingly perfect couples are still human.
They make mistakes, they experience heartbreak, they face challenges.
Just like the rest of us.
And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this.
That behind the glitz and the glamour, behind the music and the money,
Beyoncé and Jay-Z are just two people trying to figure things out.
trying to navigate the complexities of life and love.
In the unforgiving glare of the public eye.
It's wild to think about the business side of all this.
I know, right? This isn't just some celebrity gossip.
We're talking about a massive entertainment empire.
Music, fashion, art, philanthropy.
They have their hands in everything,
And their actions have consequences.
not just for themselves, but for everyone connected to them.
Employees, partners,
It's
fans.
a lot of responsibility.
Especially when you're dealing with a public scandal like this. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Both personally and professionally.
Will this lawsuit tarnish their legacy?
Will their brand survive the scrutiny?
Only time will tell.
One thing's for sure, though.
What's that?
This story is far from over.
They always seem to come back stronger,
The Carters have a knack for reinventing themselves.
turning adversity into opportunity.
We'll be watching closely to see what their next move is.
Well, this deep dive has been a whirlwind.
It really has.
We've explored the highs and lows of their relationship
The complexities of their public image.
and the implications of this new lawsuit.
It's clear that Beyoncé and Jay-Z are more than just a power couple.
They're a force to be reckoned with.
Their story is a reminder that even with all the fame and fortune, life is full of twists and turns.
It's about ambition, love betrayal,
Resilience.
and the constant struggle to maintain control.
In a world obsessed with tearing you down.
Thanks for joining us on this wild ride.
We hope you found this deep dive insightful.
And thought-provoking.
Stay tuned for our next exploration into.
Well, you never know what we'll uncover next.